I want to talk about rejuvenation, but tell us about this new chapter that you're embarking on right now.
It's a pleasure to be back. The new chapter is basically just formalizing a lot of effort that Mount Sinai and other healthcare systems have put into advancing women's health. I am a neurodegenerative disease specialist. I want to understand the causes, drivers of dementia in order to prevent it. And we've known for a really long time that women are at much higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease than men. But the root causes of that have not been understood. And so this new center, the Rowan Center for Women's Health, is taking a holistic approach to understanding risk factors in women and aging trajectories.
Hey, Tim and I are looking at each other and I'm like, oh, great, you guys, another win for you all. And he says, well, women live longer. Is that why we are more at risk because we live longer? Are there certain things in terms of our composition, our makeup that make us women more susceptible? And it's not just about that we live longer. Sorry, Tim.
It's really interesting. We are more resilient. We do live longer, but correcting for that extra lifespan does not actually explain the increased risk. No, there are biological risk factors. There are fundamental differences between women's biology and men's biology. And with the new tools at our disposal, we want to tap into understanding those pathways of vulnerability.
What is how do you separate what actually works and what's been tested, what's been proven in a clinical setting with a randomized controlled trial versus people who come to you and say, hey, I saw this is supposed to be to reverse aging, this is supposed to help me neurologically, it's what I've seen, it's what I'm seeing on social media. How do you separate the hype from what works?
You need to do rigorous clinical trials. There's a lot of really exciting science emerging, including from the Icahn School of Medicine. The next chapter is to use the same methodologies that we've used for things like aspirin, drugs for cholesterol, the same rigorous randomized clinical trial design in order to test the anti-aging therapeutics. And we are undertaking a really exciting clinical trial at Mount Sinai that will test combination treatments to slow down the aging process. So this is really the next chapter for extending health span.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I am kind of obsessed. It's funny. We've done a lot of reporting. I think even in the Times story, they just talk about a lot of wealthy individuals who are obsessed and pouring money into it. I want to go back to something you said about the pathways to vulnerability for women. What are those pathways in particular? And there's so much out there on social media. You have to be very careful. But things where they say, here's how you can maybe fend off dementia or what you should be doing. And I don't know whether it's exercise, keeping the mind busy, just these different things that they talk about.
I'll give a very concrete example based on work that my lab is doing. We are really focused on understanding how blood vessels age. We think is a fundamental component of aging of every organ system, including the brain. And we've uncovered really striking differences between the trajectory of vascular aging in women and men. And one of the really big differences in our lifespan is this middle age, where women undergo menopause. What's surprising to me, and this is the beauty of data-driven studies, is that it's not all hormonal. There's this drastic shift, and the physiology of women really changes. And I can't help but think that biology that shifts is part of the risk for conditions later in life, such as Alzheimer's disease.
So, we go back to, and I can't remember if we've spoken with you about this before, but I know in this segment we often bring it up, especially when it comes to women in menopause, the study when it comes to hormones and how that's been rethought because there were flaws or the outcome maybe wasn't true, and that we're now learning that women should maybe be taking hormones as they're going into menopause or before it. So what's your thinking around that? Now, of course, every case is individual. I understand that in terms of healthcare and treatment, but is that part of something that can help women in this process, especially when it comes to our neurological aging?
Yes, we think that there may be benefit to some individuals being on hormone replacement therapy. The question is for how long and how much of an effect is it going to have on Alzheimer's per se? And I think those studies are ongoing, but our data so far suggests that there may be an effect, but it wouldn't solve the Alzheimer's problem. To put it that way. So just going on hormone replacement therapy in of itself without understanding more of the biology and having other interventions is not going to stop women from having the higher risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Dr. Elahi, we have about a minute left, and I'm just curious for women or men who their wives, their sisters, their daughters, whatever, might be listening, or friends. So what is your advice? What is your advice to women based on what you know and what you're looking into?
I would say that for women, they should have the conversation about hormone replacement therapy because outside of Alzheimer's disease, it can have other benefits and it may also benefit Alzheimer's. I would say exercise, work on sleep, do sleep studies to make sure you don't have sleep apnea, healthy diet, including the Mediterranean diet. All of these are basically as though we're taking drugs. They have real impact on the biology is what we have discovered. So taking lifestyle measures seriously can truly diminish one's risk.
Just very briefly, the hormone replacement therapy, at what age should women start having discussions with their doctor about it?
Right around menopause. I would not wait long because I think what we do know for sure is that if you wait too long post-menopause, you may lose the benefit and only have the risk.